sneak it all in. Kids played hard today, and Coach Jackson over Salem, just hats off to them. Those guys are well prepared and play hard, for 48 minutes.
You guys, they kind of had the better of the mojo there in the third quarter with you, the 7-point lead. They got within one, but it looks like Dorsey's interception and getting that touchdown really turned the tide for you guys.
Yeah, very, very similar play to last year at the end of the game when he ended it with an interception. Kind of the same thing. I was hoping he was going to score so we wouldn't have to worry about trying to do it on offense. But clutch play by Dejan. He's made them all year long, and I'm glad he plays for us.
Second, it stayed a one-possession game there. Twice they got on your side of the field, but your defense made plays when it had to.
Yeah, they did. They've done that all year long, and Salem did some things today that we hadn't seen on film, and a couple formations and the way they got the tailback the ball and some different things. And hats off to them. But our guys, when they had to make a play, they made it.
Stephen Mines really carried the mail for you today, and Jalen Elliott continues to make plays whenever you need him.
Yeah, great decisions by Jalen. Stephen ran hard. JB took that shot in the our first or second quarter, I can't remember, and had a stinger, so we didn't know if we had him available, but we were going to ride Stephen as long as we could, and Stephen came up big for us, and like he has all year long.
The way the game unfolded, it had to be a little bit fun for you guys playing defense. You were getting to do line stunts you don't get to do before. I don't remember either one of Ashby or Moore being in the backfield as much as they were this week. And the defensive backs looked like you were lining them up outside and they were peering into the backfield. It looked like a lot of fun, and I couldn't help but I couldn't help but think that I felt different in this juncture, because we've been on some cliffhangers with you in these things, but the fact that did it give you guys any confidence that you've been there, done that, even though you're playing some schemes that you probably didn't even think you'd have to dust off?
Yeah, the big thing was, we kept saying on the sideline the whole, third and fourth quarter is, hey, we were here last year in this game, we had to come from behind. It was close. Let's keep plugging. We played some close games during the year. We had a couple losses during the year, and we learned from those. And kids believe it when you say you got to play 48 minutes, and that's what they did today. And those guys up front, pretty athletic for us on the defensive line. We're not real big, so we have to be, but they made a lot of plays, and Ashby and Moore were doing some great things. And then our secondary could kind of key in and just fly to the ball.
Having seen this team last year and knowing how good a coach Coach Jackson is, you guys knew you were going to have to earn it.
Yeah, at this stage, you hope, including yourself, that everybody's a pretty good football team, and you wouldn't expect anything different. And I've known Coach Jackson for a long time. I've always admired him and the way he's prepared and the toughness of his kids, and they were a very well prepared football team.
What was the first Stephen Mines run really set things going in your direction? Because you had a good reason to let down a little bit, because you'd given up an opportunity in the first drive, and they had come back and answered it really nice. I noticed that you were still doing that shifting and getting it over balance. What were they doing that other teams? What did they not do that other teams seem to do? Our teams in the Central Region actually defend that play a little bit better.
Well, I think, again, it's just a matter of, we had shown a little bit of that last year, and we thought they were going to adjust a certain way, and this year they didn't move those guys around, and I thought that they may have thought that, hey, that we can defend it a little better even without moving. But our guys did a good job of getting themselves in spots. They did some things, by bringing in another smaller, quicker backer and blitzing A-gap and doing some things on the backside, gave us some trouble. But we made a couple adjustments there and end up, picking it up and making some plays. But yeah, you never know what you're going to get. That's why you're moving and shifting to see what they're going to do, and then you can kind of move the chess pieces around a little bit yourself, and that's kind of what we did. And once we thought we had a handle on it, then we were able to operate a little bit.
Boy, two tough teams get together, the game can really get ugly, even with the high stakes like this. When I say ugly, just not poetic. A lot of defense being played, a lot of big offense putting themselves back in with big plays.
Yeah, that's just the nature of kind of our style and their style, and the game sometimes is not going to be pretty, and we're not in a beauty pageant. They didn't hire me at Bird to, as a pageant mom. They hired me as a football coach, and that's the way you got to, that's our style, and that's what we do, and we're happy to do it that way.
How satisfying is it to be making another trip to Charlottesville with a lot of new kids, a lot of new faces that weren't here for the last two?
Very, very satisfying. Like I told those guys down there on the field, talking to Sean and Eric Kalinich, I thought that this team more than the last 2 years, has grown during the football season, has grown up. And I think that they have the mentality of, we don't want to be known as the group to let this thing slide. And I think that they developed that as the year went on, even with the tough losses that we had. And they kept their head up, because we could have turned it in a long time ago. We could have bowed out and said, okay, we're good, we were young, we were different, and we'll go on to next year. But we didn't do that, and our kids are still fighting and still playing, and very proud of those guys.
For the third straight week, I'm asking you about Jalen Elliott, and it's all good. He's just continuously produces in big situations. When you need to take the pressure off the power running game, he seems to have the answer.
Yeah, we've had to find a way to use him, and we didn't throw the ball much at all. I don't even know how many times we threw the ball today, but we wanted to keep the clock moving and keep it on the ground, and especially when the game was close or even with the lead. And Jalen's making great decisions, and that's what we need him to do. Hopefully he'll make his best decisions a week from today, because like I told our team, you better be careful what you ask for, because we got a 14-0 Tuscarora team that's rolling over everybody right now. And I don't know if we can play with them, but we're going to get on the bus and go to Charlottesville and see what happens.
And we will be there too, my friend, to bring it back to Richmond. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Like I told you last year, we somehow knew we were going to get you on the payroll over at Birds.
Well, you did. Hey, and by the way, you need to do that, because I'm starting to call your plays now.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Gary? I think everybody in this stadium can probably call what I was going to call today. So no doubt about it. So I don't know if you're giving yourself enough credit.
I dialed up a couple of bootlegs. I asked for a couple of bootlegs, and you did it.
Okay.
And it was just there was just a lot of nice things. I got excited the first play of the game. I thought it was a great call in your
Yeah. Everybody's running that little triple play or whatever it is, and Jalen's always asking to do something. Hey, coach, can we get a little flashy somewhere along the line? So, okay, well, I tell you what, we're going to run power, and we'll just swing a guy out there, and if he's open, throw it to him. I thought for sure they'd cover him. We'd have to run it, but Jalen surprised me and made, that was kind of
the guys got excited about it, and I could hear people all say, "Oh crap, don't let them put that in the pack."
Well, that, and then all of a sudden now the guy that was playing over top of that receiver couldn't come flying down the box, and that was another thing. We didn't have to move anybody by formation or motion. We could line him up out there, and then he couldn't be as effective.
There you go. Enjoy. Thanks.
I appreciate it.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah, we get to have a good trip on the bus, because I told them if they made a peep on the way down, we were going to be in trouble. So it's going to be loud as I don't know what on the way back.
There you
so
go.
I'm going to put my headphones on and just get through it.
Enjoy. That's
Thanks,
David
guys.
Bedwell, the coach of Bird. We'll be back to wrap it up on Fox Sports 910.